She is in an awakening and she's receiving messages all of the time. So she's getting downloads, she's getting feelings, and she has this sense all the time like of like what's going on around her. But she's on 24/7. She's on all of the time. She's feeling everything everywhere, and it's going like this for her, up and down and up and down and up and down. And it, even though she's like doing a lot of other healing work, she's not tapping into the highest capacity of who she is and how to work with these messages and these feelings, to resource them first, to bring a pause in, to say yes when God is showing her here's this next right move. Instead, she's in her head processing, well, I got to get the logistics out. And like, that's my perfect angel healer. It's the woman, it's the man who knows there's something more. I'm not certain on how to get there. I don't know what God's asking me, and I'm getting all of this other stuff. And they probably, if I was to say, like, go back in time and where I was begging for help, begging, like, God, send me help, send me someone to show me how to do what you are asking me to do. And it's someone who's like, they know they have abilities, and maybe they've taken Reiki, or maybe they've practiced with their tarot cards and their psychic abilities, and they've gone places, but they're ready for the oh my gosh, this is so amazing. Like, I didn't know it could be this good. I didn't know I could stay in the veil this long. I didn't know it could be heaven here and now, and that it wasn't hard. I don't have to prove, I get to be. And the more I let go, and the more I let go, and the more I let go, the easier it all comes, and everything. We can get into the trying and the doing. A lot of people will come out and they'll be like, oh, I use sage and I'm doing all these things, and I'm feeling all this energy. It's like they're just not understanding it's not the sage. It's that there's trauma, and the energy that you're living in is creating more flux, and what you're tapping into daily is drawing you out, and you're just addicted to getting all of this psychic energy. And once we teach you how to channel, it shuts it down, and now you have peace within. The central nervous system calms down, everything starts to come in alignment, and everything starts to then fall forward instead of being back here, over here, back there. It just makes sense then. If you have gotten the calling, the nudge from spirit, from God, and you have this, like, I don't know what to do with all of what you're asking me, like you still are questioning, you might be an angel healer. If you walk through your everyday feeling the energy all around you and just feeling like overwhelmed, like, oh my gosh, the mall, I can't go to the mall, I feel everything, you might be an angel healer. If you can take on the personality of TV, someone on the TV, of someone you're working with, and you're like, wait, what do I feel like this person? You may be an angel healer. If you make excuses for other people by apologizing all the time, by saying, like, oh, well, they didn't mean to, or they had this much trauma. If you put other people before you, if you put others and their situation and their feelings, especially in your childhood, before you are an angel healer. If you've ever received a message for someone else and you either delivered it or you didn't, you are an angel healer. If you know you're a healer and you have these abilities, but you wonder if God's going to be mad at you, or that if it's going against some preconceived notion of religion, or people in your life have said, no, you shouldn't do this. You aren't a healer, a medium, a psychic, you aren't that. If you know it, but you just don't know how to live with it, you're an angel healer. If you have at some point in your life had a vision in your dream, seen an angel, a departed loved one, a holy figure, someone speaking to you from the other side, you are an angel healer. Good morning. Welcome to Abundantly You. Woohoo! I'm so excited to be here for our Abundantly You. Super excited to bring us in to this beautiful work that we're going to be doing and talking about living in our true abundance, living in our highest soul self, and why this is important. So I decided to do this series after doing a meditation and tapping in with my angels and leaning into how we are all healers, right? We are all healers. We're always working towards something in our life, right? We always want to feel better. Everybody has something that they're working on in their life. This is what I believe. It's what I've seen as a healer myself. So how cool is this to know that one, it kind of unites us, right, instead of separates us, because sometimes we feel like the things that we're working towards are the things that isolate us, like nobody would understand, right? So we kind of feel lonely in our strive to work towards our own enlightenment, right, our own healing. What if I was to tell you that your healing wasn't really dependent on you trying to do or be something that you aren't? What if that one thing that you put your one down for was actually about you leaning in to a higher frequency, about you standing in the truth of your soul? So our frequency, the energy in which we show up in our life, is what we're going to see on the outside. So you as the vessel of love, you as the creator of your experience, you of the healer of the thing that you put your one in, because you're leaning towards like having this higher version of yourself. It's not somewhere out there. It's not in the future. It's actually here for you. So just by changing the frequency that we are internally, we'll change the energy in the outside world. We'll start to shift things. So as healers and sensitive souls, one of the things that seems to separate us from believing that this is possible, or understanding that we can attract, is there's a lot of guilt, there's a lot of shame, there's a lot of, well, if God wanted me to have it, I'd have it. If this is what God meant for me. If you kind of notice that you have that tendency to believe if it was meant to be, it would be. That it would be already. That if God wanted you to have this thing, this number one thing that you put down today, that you're holding, the thing that you're working on, that it would already be.
When she smiles at you, she'll say, angels don't lie. Angels don't lie. Angels don't lie. No, no, angels don't lie. Angels don't lie. No, 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 no.
The power of our body and the signals that we send out it comes from our belief system, right? So if we're worriers, if we worry all the time, and I know this was me, I was a giant worrier, right? My worries were always on, that internal struggle always on. And this affects the central nervous system, this affects how we show up. And so when I teach people how to connect to heaven, to receive our messages, right? Receive your messages from heaven, receive what God has for you, receive the messages from your departed loved ones. It's a frequency. We're stepping into a frequency of receiving what God has for us, not out of desperation, not out of worry, not out of confusion. So this weekend, here's a perfect example. This weekend, another scammer came on to Instagram and made another fake account in my name. You can always tell because they spell the name with a missing letter, or an added letter. So this time it had a missing N in my name. And why they do this, why it works for scammers, because another friend said to me, wow, they're really onto something, because I almost fell for it, number one. And it sounded so good, too good to be true. And something started to tap in, and I was like, wait, this guy or this person is asking me to give them money, and then they'll tell me this secret, this thing they have for me. And I was like, yeah, right. People are vulnerable. We're vulnerable, right? We want those answers. We want that guidance. You want that information for your problem solving, right? That one that we put down, we all are identifying with, like, yeah, we want to heal something. We want something to shift and change in our life. We want to bring something in. And so they prey on these lower frequency people. They prey on our vulnerability, our space of, yeah, I want to receive. So one, the messages are always there for us, right? I did a little post after I got the people telling me that they're there. And the truth is, if you say yes to a scammer that comes in your inbox and gives you, like this enticing, like, I've got something for you, some secrets and some messages, and your energy feels good, they tell you some bullshit story. And the reason you would want to give them your money is because they made you feel something. They made you feel seen and heard, and that they have something for you, right? And the truth is, God does have something for us each and every day. Each and every day, there is a gift waiting for us. There is a gift of tapping into our energy, of raising our frequency, of entering prayer and being in meditation, right? The most important thing that we can do for ourselves is start seeking inward for our answers instead of outward. So while these, yicky people are out there taking people's money, how we could defend ourselves is by shifting our vibration, by changing how we're showing up, instead of having it be something that we are like desperate for, which is true. We do get that way. I know myself. And please, I want to just tap into this. Have you felt desperate in your life before? Put a 1 in there. I want to see if you guys can notice that you're not alone in this. There are times when things seem so big and scary and hairy and dark in our lives that we want answers, and we think somebody might have those for us. Put a 1 if you've been desperate in the past. Yeah. When I first started, doing my work in believing in myself and believing in this gift and believing that, yep, I'm going to be doing this, I kept saying, God, I need a teacher. I need a teacher. I need a teacher. I need a teacher. I kept begging and begging, and I was praying, and I was like leaning in, and I was looking all over the place, and I was reading these books, and I'm like, are you my teacher? Are you my teacher? Are you going to tell me how to do this? And finally, in meditation, I let go enough where I got my answer. And my answer was, you are the teacher. And I was like, oh, I already know. I already know how to be me. I already know how to be me. And by me looking to someone else to teach me, I was going to lower my vibration, which I was doing. I was lowering my frequency. I was coming off of my truth, and I was meeting the world where it was. So I have this teaching that I'm going to show you guys throughout this week. We're going to go through a bunch of things that you can use so that you can start noticing your vibration. You can notice how you're showing up. You can start discerning energy to say, is this for me? Like we would with a scammer. Is this truly for me? And you feel it in your body. We're going to learn how to trust our bodies, because this is the first thing that I love to do with my angel healers, is to learn how to be with ourselves first, and then learn how to be with others, how to support others through all the things, all the challenges and things that you've been through. Because here's the groovy thing. God uses our pain. He's going to use everything that you've been through, all of it. All of it's going to be transformed into good. All of it's going to be taken and assembled within you so that you can support others. That's the truth. That's why we're here. We're not here to do it on our own. We're not here to be isolated and stuck. We're here to transform. God wants us to transform through these challenges. He wants you to see where love is available to you. He wants you to see his grace in those sticky times, right? So those sticky times of like, oh my gosh, this is so this is so hard, or this is so challenging, or like, I can't believe this is happening. We've all had those experiences, right? Give me a one. Have you had a hard experience so big that maybe your faith was shaken? Maybe you lost your faith. Maybe you are in it now. Give me a one if you have felt it or if you're in it. Now give me a heart if you're ready for something new. Let's get some love going. Let's get some love going and start to notice the difference here. Are we ready for something more? Are you ready for more? Ready for more. We're ready for more. And sometimes we think we know what we want, right? We think, or sometimes we don't know what we really want. So it's identifying what we really desire. So many times we'll lean into, oh, I have to go to college, or I have to study, I have to do this because the outside world shows me that this is the way. This is the way. I've worked with so many amazing women who have gone after degree after degree after degree in order to build a portfolio, in order to build credentials for them to be who they think they need to be. So we overwork. Is this you? Have you done this in some way, shape, or form in your life? Right? Give me a one. Have you overcommitted to work? Have you overextended your energy? Have you people pleased to the point of doing things that don't really serve you, but you thought maybe because you were told or shown that this was the way, that was what you needed to do to become that version of you? Right. So here's where our lack starts, right? In denying our truth, in denying who we really are, in forgetting that you as a perfect soul were born into this life in the highest vibration, that God created this beautiful life for you to come through. And you came in remembering love. You came in that frequency. You came in the purest of love. And of course, our experiences are meant to teach us and show us and lead us into the transformation. But what ends up happening is trauma, the conditioning, the pain, which shifts the internal vibration, which changes the pure thought system, right? Which then affects the frequency of what we're putting out into the world. And so it is by choice that we choose, and this is the big thing, it's by choice that we choose to show up in a new frequency, in a new vibration. So what is the biggest things that lower our frequency? What are the biggest things that challenge us from going from the vibration of love, which is your purest form? You are love. You are love. You are love. You are love. You came in as love, and somewhere along the line, we got challenged. Somewhere along the line, life happens. And this isn't a bad thing. We're here to have these experiences, but we're also here to remember who we are. And in remembering who you are going to be remembering God. You're going to remember that you have always been holy. And so we're going to take all of this life that you've had so far, and we're going to put it in this beautiful mixing bowl, and we're just going to add the ingredients for it to be used for the highest and best good. Does that make a sense? Does that feel good and right? So again, the things that lower our frequency are the things that hurt us, right? And they stay in our body. So in Angel Healer, we talk a lot about frequency. We talk a lot about the body. And I wanted to share this one main tip with you, is that your emotions are the telltale sign of where your frequency is. Your emotions are telling you where on your emotional staircase, and I'm going to tell you this really cool thing. Your emotional staircase is that you live in this space of going up this staircase several times a day sometimes, right? This is why your like moods go and you fluctuate. So it's from 1 to 10. You go into the lowest of low, and we have all had the lowest of low, right? Give me a 1. You know the lowest of low you've ever had. And then a 10 is the highest of high emotion you've ever had. And the lowest of low is in that despair space. It's in that desperation space. And the 10, the highest of the high, is in this, oh my gosh, this is so amazing. We can identify and find the evidence for the frequency of low very easily. Our job every day seems to be looking at the negative aspects of our life. What's wrong? Why am I not this? Why isn't this healed? Where is my perfect partner? Why is my marriage falling apart? We look at the despair. We look at the despair. We try to find evidence for the despair. We seek it, right? And so that tells us that our emotional energy, the ones, the blocks, the things that are in our body, are seeking to be healed, but they're also seeking to stay the same, because fear wants us to stay the same. His job is, let me hold you in this same space, and I'm going to feed you a bunch of confusion. I'm going to feed you a bunch of energy that's going to have you stay right here. And recently, I don't know, some of you are on my email list. I shared this really beautiful email for 9/11 where I channeled messages from souls who departed in 9/11. And I asked them to deliver a message for the greater good, the collective. And each of them said a roundabout of living in the frequency of love. They all talked about shifting and staying in a higher space, like how our low energy just continues the same stuff in our lives. And I know this for a fact too by channeling your loved ones, of what they'll come through and say, and they'll be like, I just want them to be happy. And if they realize that their worries are causing more suffering, then they would feel better. Or if I could forgive them, if they would understand that I truly am sorry for how I treated them, that wasn't who I am as a soul, but those were from the conditioning and things. And it's not that it was on purpose, and it's not an excuse, but how apologetic they are and how much they can lean into love in the here and now for your soul, for you to experience more love in your life. And isn't that what we all want, to have more love in our life? Let me have a heart if you want more love in your life. If you're ready for more love in your life. Are you ready for more love in your life? You can change your vibration. What you desire, it actually is meant for you. If you have a desire in your heart, then God has put it there. And that our worries and fears and judgment and self-criticism, and because your body can feel, you might be addicted to people pleasing and lowering your vibration. You might be addicted to moving from your highest state of who you really are and moving into the energy of worry, doubt, shame, people pleasing. Right? And that addiction lowers your energy. It changes the dynamic of your body internally. It takes you from having a calm central nervous system into having an overactive central nervous system. And then the brain remembers. So the brain is wired to remember, and it's remembering worry, fear, judge, self-doubt. So if we're breaking the cycle, we're doing some new things. And we start with the morning routine. We start with the morning routine because that's how we're going to set ourselves up for success. Remembering who we are. And that's our goal. You are a healer. You have the ability to shift and heal the things, your greatest pains, your greatest sufferings, to live in your moment, to live now. Yes. I hope this serves you and you have a most beautiful day, and that you know that you are so loved. God bless you guys. Thanks for joining.